5 News at Noon starts now.
President Trump set to sign a sweeping spending bill today, boosting defense and border funding, cutting Medicaid and SNAP, and adding $3 trillion to the deficit. Meanwhile, he spoke with Ukraine's president after new Russian attacks. And a record 72 million Americans are on the move this July 4th week, with 51,000 flights yesterday alone, the FAA's busiest day yet. Buckle up, it's a record-breaking holiday rush. Well, thank you for joining us on this 4th of July. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with meteorologist Danny Cassidy. If you're anything like our morning crew here at 5 News, you may have already been celebrating the 4th.
Yes.
Had a great start to the morning, it sounds like.
Yes, we had a great start to the morning, got out on the back porch, did some burgers, had some eggs, some bacon, all turned out pretty well. I cooked them a little bit over, but I didn't burn anything.
I heard good things.
Didn't set the station on fire, so that's a win-win. So Van, our general manager, if you're watching at home, don't worry, the station is still intact. Now the weather, that's going to stay intact. Maybe a few stray showers, and they are popping up here and there. So be mindful of that as you head out the door this afternoon, or if you're outside already, be mindful some stray showers are moving in from the south. Right now in northwest Arkansas, a little bit of sunshine, some clouds out there, 87 degrees, but that with dew point at 68, it feels like the low 90s. Nice little southerly breeze there, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. These are the showers I'm talking about here. You're seeing it just on the border here, just in eastern LaFleur County there, moving through northern LaFleur County, mostly in eastern Oklahoma right now, but some of it just near the Fort Smith area. So just be mindful that some of those showers will continue to move in from the south. In terms of northwest Arkansas, over the next 12 hours, we'll have those stray shower chances. Then I think they'll dwindle after about sunset. And same with the River Valley here. We'll have temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s. Again, just be mindful of those rain chances, but we'll go into your full 4th of July forecast throughout the weekend coming up in just a little bit. Morgan.
Thanks, Danny. This afternoon, President Trump is set to sign the massive spending bill Congress passed yesterday. The key piece of legislative agenda calls for increased spending for border security and the military, but also makes changes to safety net programs, including Medicaid. But before the bill signing, the president is focusing on foreign policy.
President Trump spoke with Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelenskyy Friday morning, hours after Kyiv was hit by a barrage of Russian drones and missiles. In a social media post, Zelenskyy said the two leaders discussed air defenses and agreed to work together to protect Ukraine's skies.
We count on continuation of American support.
Today's phone conversation comes after President Trump said no progress was made during his call Thursday with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I'm very disappointed. Well, it's not, I'm just saying, I don't think he's looking to stop, and that's too bad.
While he expressed disappointment over the war in Ukraine, when it comes to his domestic agenda, the president is enjoying much more success. He's getting ready to sign the spending and budget package, one he calls the big, beautiful bill, here at the White House later today.
The motion is adopted.
President Trump celebrated the bill's passage at an event in Iowa Thursday night.
With this bill, every major promise I made to the people of Iowa in 2024 became a promise kept.
The bill increases spending for border security and the military and extends the 2017 Trump tax cuts, while also making cuts to the safety net programs such as SNAP, the Food Assistance Program, and Medicaid. The bill will also add more than $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. Two House Republicans voted with all Democrats against the bill. Nicole Skenga, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, as we wait for President Trump to sign the new spending bill, which includes more than $1 trillion in budget cuts, major changes could soon be coming to government health care and food assistance programs here at home. The group Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families says they're concerned cuts to those programs could undo years of progress in reducing hunger and economic hardship. They also expect it to place new financial burdens on state governments.
If we have to start shouldering more and more of that expense, it really squeezes the state budget. And what happens? Where can we make cuts?
They warn the real cost will fall on families and the state. If Arkansas has to cover the gap, it could mean cuts to schools, health programs, or infrastructure, all while more kids go without basic needs. Well, with North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis announcing his retirement, it leaves a wide open race to fill his seat. Names of interested candidates are already floating around on both sides of the aisle. They include President Trump's daughter-in-law, who's a native of North Carolina. Julie Kay with our Verify team went to the experts to find out if she can declare her candidacy.
Laura Trump was born in Wilmington, even graduated from NC State, but currently lives in Florida. We've gotten a lot of questions about if she would be eligible, so let's verify. To answer this, we consulted North Carolina's state and federal election laws. The first question, is Laura Trump eligible to run for Senator Thom Tillis' seat to represent North Carolina? As it stands right now, she couldn't. She does meet the federal requirements for age and citizenship, but she would have to live here at the time of the election. In order to run in a primary, North Carolina law requires a candidate be affiliated with the party for at least 90 days when that person files. You can't register unless you are a resident. As filing is this December, she would need to move back to North Carolina by September. As we wait to see if she runs, other potential GOP contender names floating around: RNC Chairman Mike Whatley and Representative Pat Harrigan. But Tuesday, Harrigan endorsing Laura Trump's potential run, meaning Republicans aren't likely to challenge if she does jump in. On the Democratic side, former U.S. Representative Wiley Nickel is the only person who has said for sure he is running. Former Governor Roy Cooper's name has been floated around. We're told he likely won't have a formal decision for at least a few more weeks. With your Verify, I'm Julie Kay.
In other news, Attorney General Tim Griffin is suing two companies for violating Arkansas's Deceptive Trade Practices Act, starting with Bolt Steel Furniture, accusing them of false advertising after receiving 33 complaints from customers saying they cheated or stole a total of more than $27,000. The other lawsuit is against the now closed Community Builders. He says customers complained the supposedly 3-month bathroom remodels ended up taking far longer. One customer says the company harassed them when they complained. The AG says elderly customers who lost $17,000 are among the victims. Well, the FAA recorded 51,000 scheduled flights yesterday, its busiest day of a very busy holiday week for travelers. Dave Malkov is at the world's busiest airport in Atlanta.
Hi there. I can already feel it's getting quite busy here at the world's busiest airport in Atlanta. We're hearing 4 million travelers will come through just this one airport this weekend. But if you expand that out to how many people will be traveling 50 miles from their home, AAA is telling us 72.2 million Americans will be traveling this week. That is up 2.4% from last year. That's almost 6 million traveling by air, 62 million in their car. Both of those are record-setting numbers. American Airlines predicts that they will see the most customers ever during this travel period. United Airlines says it expects to fly more than 560,000 passengers each day of the 4th of July period. That's something like 3 takeoffs per minute. This increase could have to do with gas prices. Yes, they are down to $3.16 per gallon on average. That's the lowest since 2021. More flights means more delays. There were around 9,000 delays yesterday. That's both internally in the United States and coming in and out of the country. TSA back there is telling us that Sunday will be their biggest day. But their biggest day since they started was actually 2 Sundays ago. So if you're going to travel out this weekend, try to avoid Sunday, because that is going to be the hardest day of travel. But happy 4th of July, everyone. I'm Dave Malkov, CBS News at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport.
With the holiday weekend comes a bigger police presence on the roads. Officers are preparing for the potential of an increase in drunk drivers. From 2019 to 2023, there were over 2,600 traffic fatalities during the holiday period. 38% of those drivers were drunk. Chad Thornberry with the Washington County Sheriff's Department says they are teaming up with the National Highway Traffic Administration this weekend to help keep an eye on the roads, and they will not be taking their job lightly. If they see even the slightest suspicion that someone's driving under the influence, they will pull them over.
Obviously, either just don't drink or have a designated driver before you ever start, holiday celebrations, or have plans to stay somewhere. Or, if you know you're going to be drinking and you live somewhere, it's an option. Like I said, that Uber and Lyft and all these other transportation companies, it's much cheaper to go that route than a DWI, I can assure you.
Absolutely.
Thornberry says if you think you see a drunk driver on the road, the best thing to do is call 911. And if you can give them the tag number and the vehicle description with the area that the vehicle is traveling.